One, if you're making a smooth dish and you've got your slab rolled and smoothed on both sides, you would be ready to cut. If you are making the texture, do the texture, and then you're ready to cut the form out. Okay, so I'm going to set my piece right there. I'm going to put the bigger side down, and I've got to decide when I'm placing that, do I want the design to be divided corner to corner, end to end? Do I want it offset a little bit? Do I want like design 1/3 and then 2/3, or how do I want that? So I've got to think about my placement some, and then I'm going to very gently place that down. And I can use either my credit card to cut with, or if I've got a needle tool, I can do that. But I've got to decide what size and shape I'm cutting that. Do I want it exactly the size of the mold? In that case, I would just cut right along the edge, keep that really nice and even. If I wanted to make it so that it's larger, but I want to be consistent, I can lay down, I can use my rolling guide and cut next to it, so I can put that next to it. So then I've got a little bit extra, so I have a little more size to work with. I'm going to go ahead and just cut the size of the mold. I could also cut wavy edges or other kinds of things, or maybe I want it to be a round dish but use a square form. There's all kinds of things. Now notice as I'm cutting, I'm kind of holding my needle down. I'm not angling it under or angling it out. It's in one sense straight up and down, but angling toward the cut. I don't want to press too hard because I can snap my needle. But by angling that needle down, it makes a much cleaner cut. And then I'm going to pop that mold up. So I just used my needle and kind of popped it up a little bit. And then I remove that excess clay, and I'll be able to re-knead that and use that clay again. If it's getting a little dry, just wet it down a little bit, put it back in your bag. And I can take my fingers or a damp sponge and clean that edge a little bit, or I can use my card. You can also, I'll show you just as an example, you can also, if you use your card and kind of angle it so it's not straight up and down, I'm not just cutting down, although that can work. I'm sliding that still like a knife, and that actually will cut very well, especially for straight edges. It cuts beautifully. Okay. So there are different tools that will work. And because I cut, it's probably sealed up to the vinyl just a little bit. So I want to flip it and pull the vinyl back rather than trying to pull the clay up. If I pull the clay up, it's going to distort. I've got to decide, do I want to have the design up, or do I want that to be on the outside or the inside? So like this one, my design is on the inside.